It's a big Monday, and we welcome you to the ACC on ESPN. It'll be the 536th consecutive sellout at Cameron Indoor. Not only is Duke riding a 13-game winning streak, the Blue Devils are 9-0 in conference play. In fact, their last ACC loss was to NC State, who they meet in a matter of moments. Great to have you with us, everybody. Thanks for coming aboard. Dave O'Brien alongside former ACC star Corey Alexander, just back from Paris, and also Myron Metcalf. Okay, Duke, right at the midway point as of tonight in conference play. Can they go 20-0, Corey, in the ACC?
Obi, with the narrative that the ACC is down, there are many that expect for Duke to go 20-0 in league play. That's a lot of pressure to put on such a young team, and they're doing a great job of blocking out the outside noise. However, this could be a trap game. North Carolina comes here this weekend. NC State looking to get some retribution here today.
You talk about the youth of Duke, but it's great youth when you're talking about the sensational Cooper Flag. The freshman has been off the charts, and he seems to be whatever they need him to be on a given night.
Well, one of the youngest players in the game happens to be possibly the best player in the game. And when you consider Cooper Flag, he does what your team needs for him to do to win. That's what's most important to Cooper. Against Wake Forest in the first half last time out, he accounted for 22 of their 35 points with his scoring and assisting the basketball, making plays. In the second half, he went into domination mode, getting to the basket, attacking 15 of Duke's 28 points for that comeback win in Winston-Salem.
It really was their point guard in that second half when they came from 6 points down. They've been in that position very often, not at all really in the ACC, and rallied to win when they needed to do it up against Kevin Keatts and NC State. He's 5-6 against Duke in his career, aiming for a third straight win over the Blue Devils. Remember, he beat them in the ACC tournament and then the Elite Eight of the NCAA tournament in the springtime. Up against John Shire, year number 3. Went to his zone for the first time on Saturday for only about 4.5 minutes, but at the perfect time with Duke trailing. It seemed to throw Wake Forest off, and eventually Duke would cruise to the victory and continue to be perfect in ACC play. So NC State is 9-10. They are 2-6 in the conference. They have dropped 4 consecutive games. Their main problem, Corey, is they can't shoot the basketball effectively.
They have struggled from downtown. 5 of 34 in their last 2 games from downtown. Kevin Keatts said very clearly, we need someone to step up and make a shot for us to have an opportunity to win here tonight.
Duke trying to go to 18-2 on the season, and we are underway. The opening tip. Now let's see if we do this again. We are going to do it again. A packed house, of course. Man of the students ready to roar. You say, when are they not? But they are in particularly high volume here tonight.
And a welcome sign for the Blue Devils to be back home after 2 consecutive games on the road.
James will drive it. Lost the handle. Knocked away from him, and a turnover. That's something the Wolfpack does well. They can force turnovers. O'Connell will bounce that one, but they're going to turn it over on the line. Right back over to Duke.
Now that's an early turnover for Michael O'Connell, who in 15 of his 18 games this season has had 1 or fewer turnovers. So he's at his limit, only turns it over once every 36 minutes per game.
And they turn it over less than any other team in the conference. Less than 10 per game. They only had 6 on Saturday, but they lost that game against SMU. And a whistle and a tie-up and a foul in the paint. And immediately against NC State and Jaden Taylor, the 6'4" senior, she picks up number 1. Capacity crowd here of 9,314 at Cameron. And Duke to put it in play from the baseline. Walawatch. He's going to go strong and up and out. He just went in full attack mode.
And Obi, you and I have done a number of games here, and it seems to be Kama Malawatch is the guy that normally breaks the seal on the basket. They're always looking for him, but this one a little more conventional. He was just an outlet on the underneath out of bounds play, but shows his ball handling ability to get the first deuce.
Marcus Hill averaging 13 points a game, a little too strong, around and out. Rebound tipped. Malawatch going down hard, trying to save it, but couldn't do it.
We watched the Blue Devils work on their underneath out-of-bounds play. Kama Malawatch is just supposed to be the outlet. However, as Ben Middlebrooks overplays it, it gives Malawatch an ability to a lane to drive right through to get the first basket of the game.
O'Connell trying to bounce it in, does for Taylor. He and Hill, the only two to average double figures for NC State. They have a lot of trouble scoring, but that one's going to be swished in by Styles on the money.
And one of the things you constantly see is Duke gets everyone's best effort. So we talked about the slump shooting for NC State, but you see Dontre Styles knocking down the first three ball of the game for the Pack.
Kenneth giving it up for James. Duke coming off a hard-fought victory in Winston-Salem on Saturday against Wake Forest. Poked away, and the steal by NC State. That'll be flipped up off the backboard. No good by Taylor. Looking for a second effort, and Hill has it knocked out of his hands, and it'll be Wolfpack ball.
Cooper Flagg with the turnover. Had 7 turnovers against Wake Forest in the road game on Saturday, but does get back defensively and affect the opportunity by Taylor, not allowing him to have the easy look.
Nice save by Styles on the sideline. That got the free jumper for O'Connell.
And that's an area where Mike O'Connell can absolutely help this Wolfpack team. He can be more aggressive on the offensive end, showing his ability to shoot the basketball.
Flagg will lift. Can't connect on the first one. Malawach up, and no, as Middlebrooks takes down the rebound. He's their top rebounder, only 5 a game. O'Connell. Hill shut down by Knipple. On the spin, nifty move there. Off the window, no. Middlebrooks kept it alive. They swing for Taylor. Taylor's jumper. And a rebound picked off by Tyrese Proctor. Proctor had a tough shooting day on Saturday, just 2 for 12. Knipple wants the 3, in and out. It's certainly the shot he wants.
Got a good look on that possession, rimming it out. And Knipple the last time on this floor had a career high 25 points against Miami, 6 of 8 from 3. So he's happy to be back in the comforts of Cameron.
Flagg back for Proctor. Flagg averaging 20 a game and 8 rebounds as well, and one of the conference's top passers among the many skills that he possesses at the tender age of 18. Proctor with the drive, airborne, tough shot, spun it up there, no, and numbers now for NC State. Taylor leading in. Flagg got back and defended really well. He kept that from turning into a layup. And Knipple in the paint. And he'll draw the foul. 16:37 to go here in the first half.
But we've seen NC State with some stout defense early, and Kevin Keys talked to us. He's happy with their half-court defense and the way that they played as of late. It's just been about their inability to make shots, especially from 3. That's where they've struggled. And doing a good job to start this game off against the Blue Devils, especially to be in this building where Duke draws so much energy from their crowd.
Yeah, just a couple of early points. The foul went on O'Connell as Knipple drains that one. Excellent foul shooter, 85%. And Mason Gillis into the game now for John Shire. He's coming off a hugely important performance on Saturday against Wake Forest. He was really money. Not just shooting the basketball. He had a couple of huge shots, but he calmed everybody down in a really tough environment.
And what John Shire talked about was he's played in environments like that before. You're talking about a young man who's played over 140 games in college, played the national championship a season ago, so it's not much that's going to rattle a guy like Mason Gillis. And he had 3 huge threes in that comeback victory on Saturday.
They sure did. Ice water there. Paul McNeil into the game for the Wolfpack. He's probably their best shooter, wearing number 2 on the line, and they'll turn it over. And their second turnover. And again, they had just 6 on Saturday against SMU, even though they dropped that game. Tell you what, you turn the other guy over 15 times and you only turn it over yourself 6 times. You usually win that game 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, and that's what the area of concern for Kevin Keats, because that's the key to their defense, is turning the other teams over and getting out in transition, finding those fast break points.
Tipped out, they'll keep it. And we've got a timeout. Duke off to a choppy start offensively, 5-4 NC State. And And we welcome you to a big Monday. Thanks for being with us tonight here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Dave O'Brien alongside my partner Corey Alexander and Myron Metcalf as well. The place packed to the gills as it always is. 536 consecutive sellouts at Cameron Indoor. The students are ready. We're ready. And Duke has been nothing but ready. They're a perfect 9-0 in conference play, Corey. They've won 13 straight games.
They've won 13 straight games, and they're ready. Let me tell you who else is ready, OB. It's the moms. It's the parents. You can see Kelly Flagg as Cooper Flagg is getting it done on the floor. Kelly, who coached Cooper in travel basketball, and still coaching from the sideline as she taps her husband Ralph, who also has spent a lot of time with his son on the floor. And Kelly into the game, standing up in the huddle right now, trying to make sure she can be an extension of John Shire on the bench.
Into the game barely touches it, right? Because they are into every second and still coaching their son from the stands up there. A couple of great folks from the state of Maine. Wonderful people. John Shire was talking about this at a shoot-around today. He said, I got the greatest group of parents I have ever had. They are tremendous. They actually root for the other players on the team. He said, I've had parents who've done that before, but every one of them does it now. Yeah, we talk about Kelly Flagg, but you also got to consider Tajma Gumba. She's coached the game. She coached at Georgetown, recently left coaching Georgetown. Her son Pat's on the team. Then you think about, of course, Sherry Knipple, as well as her husband Con, who both were great players at the college level, and here as well, rooting on their son. But one of the things that John Shire talked about with his parents is they don't invade the privacy of this team. They root for each other. However, they don't get in the inner sanctuary of what is helping this team be successful. So a lot of stuff is clicking, obviously, for Duke. Just about everything is these days. But that was a hard-fought win. That was a difficult win on Saturday against Wake Forest. Wake had them up against it. The crowd was really in full throat. They had a tremendous crowd there in Winston-Salem, but they pull it out in the end. You know, Cooper Flagg was terrific when he had to be down the stretch, even though he did turn it over 7 times. Third man on our crew tonight, Myron Metcalf. Myron, what do you got?
You know, John Shire talked about Cooper Flagg's leadership. He's concerned about the turnovers, 15 in his last 3 games, but he said he does all the right things. And when your best player does all the right things, it affects the entire culture of your program. And he said that is Cooper Flagg's greatest asset, that he's a great leader on and off the court, fellas.
24 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. The question tonight is, can NC State do some of the things that Wake did defensively to get in there against Cooper Flagg and try and shake him up a little bit? Seven turnovers is 7 turnovers.
Yeah, and Kevin Keats made it plain to us. They're going to go after him, not just Cooper Flagg, but they're going to go after the Blue Devils because they have to be able to turn Duke over and use those turnovers and turn them into points on the other end of the floor. But you get a chance to see Cooper Flagg's number. Leads the ACC in scoring in conference play at 23 points per game. Field goal percentage is up. 3-point field goal percentage is up. And let's just also mention that he turned 18 just over a month ago. So most of those games have been since his 18th birthday. They say you become a man at age 18. He might have been one before, but he's definitely shown he's grown up since.
Gillis can't hit out of the inbounds, and Wolfpack have it. They'll swing for Styles, who will drop that one in. Another one. He's hit a couple of threes early.
Yeah, Dontre Styles knocking down 2 threes, and he struggled shooting the basketball as well. But in the starting lineup, he matches up with Cooper Flagg very well when you look at the starting 5 on the floor.
Duke with the starting lineup brought to you by CDW. Cooper Flagg 20 points a game. Knipple getting 13. Proctor 11. Defense has certainly marked the success of Duke, though. They can take that everywhere, and an excellent passing team, too. That'll rattle home for Flagg as it drops in.
That was a pretty good job by McNeil, not allowing Cooper Flagg to get past him. However, Cooper Flagg able to gather the basketball and knock down the jumper as we see the 5 on the floor for the Wolfpack. Paul McNeil getting early minutes. The highly touted freshman for Kevin Keats starting to find his way into the rotation.
Wolfpack does not have a proven big-time scorer, so Keats is looking for any answer he can get as Huntley Hatfield scores that. Came in averaging 8 points a game. NC State looking a lot better offensively than they have been.
They really are, and they look confident. But one of the things you know about this is Duke is going to get everyone's best shot. Guys will oftentimes make shots against Duke that they don't make in a normal game because they come in. This is almost a Super Bowl for opposing teams.
Knipple fires long range and nothing but net from 3-point land. Give him 5 early points. So the Pack by 1. O'Connell off to Huntley Hatfield at 6'10". NC State is an experienced group. Everybody in their top 7 in the rotation is a senior, like that guy, Huntley Hatfield, or a graduate.
But a nice find by Paul McNeil Jr., who had 3 assists. Last time out, he was only 1 of 5 from the field, but did distribute the basketball well. And you see his passing to the young man who put up huge numbers in college. Forgive me, in high school.
3 assists already. Again, Knipple off target there. Malawatch crashing that glass and can't connect in close. Wolfpack makes only 31% from three-point land. It's actually worse than that in conference play at 29%. Now, there's been a season-long problem that didn't have a year ago, that's for sure. They had stars last year. Big-time players in the clutch, too. Styles a dribble down. Got a good look. And a foul. With 13:07 to go here in the first half.
Both teams set on attacking the paint throughout this game. But seeing Con Knipple in the corner, the great vision, and then getting it on the interior to Brandon Huntley Hatfield for the easy dunk. Paul McNeil with a nice delivery. And Huntley Hatfield with the finish to give the Wolfpack a 3-point edge here early.
Huntley Hatfield just committed his first foul. Duke with just the 2 losses, by 5 to Kentucky and by 3 to Kansas. Here's Flagg up high. Wants to make a move. Evans into the game. Rebounded downstairs by Gunkbell. Lost it. Out it goes and back over to the Pack. So that'll be 4 turnovers for Duke. We talk about the guys last year that went to the Final Four: Burns, Horn, and Diarra and Marcel, and where they are right now. And you're talking about go-to guys that Keats does not have this year, and he's still looking for that one. He'll take one of those guys back.
Well, he's had guys always that could go get a bucket. DJ Horn, you go back to Jarkel Joyner, to Quavion Smith. He's always had a guy in the backcourt that could go get one when they needed it. And that's the struggle for this team this year. They haven't really had that guy. As they step up and knock down another 3, is Trey Parker getting involved in the mix. So the freshmen have made an impact already for the Wolfpack, with both Trey Parker and Paul McNeil.
Tapped out, unable to save that, was Trey Parker, who's usually a standout dunker. They did call that a 2, by the way. They will take a look at it. The previous basket by Parker. Take a look.
Trey Parker, that's going to be a 3 from Fayetteville, North Carolina. And you got to imagine an in-state guy has been waiting for his opportunity to be able to play against the Blue Devils on this floor. You grow up hearing about it, thinking about it. Chose NC State to play as a home games, but of course looks forward to playing here at Cameron Indoor at least once a year.
That score is definitely going to change. That wasn't that close.
Yeah, that was not close at all.
Gillis looking inside. Knipple. Bronco had it knocked away. Right to the Coach K court logo. Shot clock is expiring. A heave. And it's a shot clock violation.
But Obi, the pressure. The Wolfpack have applied the pressure early. They've got Duke starting the offense 30, 40 feet away from the basket. And it's worked in their favor here early, all the way to a 5-point lead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Discover. It pays to discover. Pays to hit those 3-point shots. And NC State, once they update the score, will have hit 3 already. It certainly hasn't been a strong point of the game. It is so far tonight.
Yeah, what we thought was a 5-point lead going into the timeout is actually now a 6-point lead. The Wolfpack 3 of 5 from beyond the 3-point arc to start this game. We've got to reiterate, in their last 2 games, they were 5.
Field goal at the 12:21 mark. by North Carolina State was scored a 2 on the floor. During the timeout review, it shows a 3-point shot. The score is correct overboard.
5 of 34 in their last 2 games coming in. So some great looks from Kevin Keatts so far. Myron, you got something on that?
Yeah, Kevin Keatts was excited about the way his team played defense. He said, great defense, we're making it very hard on them. He said, avoid the long twos, but maintain the defensive intensity. He liked the way his team started.
Foul here. Duke, by the way, 3 baskets and 5 turnovers. So to Myron's point about the defense, causing Duke to turn it over. The foul will go on Gungba, his first. And NC State from the baseline.
And how about this, OB? Kevin Keatts has already played 10 players in this game. In the first 8 minutes, he's got 10 players in the rotation. So sending the message, whoever defends, and of course, if you can throw in a couple threes,
wow,
you can find some minutes tonight.
That was Taylor, who was 3 for 13 against SMU Saturday and 1 for 7 from 3. This is an 8-0 run. 18-9 inside for the 6'11" freshman Gungba.
Yeah, Gungba gives Duke an offensive punch. He can absolutely score the basketball. Young man really just getting his feet under him. Missed his entire senior year of high school in the beginning of this season, but starting to become a factor for the Blue Devils.
Oh, what a pretty shot by Parker, high off the glass.
And Parker talking back to Mason Gillis, telling him it's too small, then coming up with the pressure, forcing the turnover.
Taylor can't hit it. He was wide open, but they'll get a second look. Here's Taylor again. He swishes in another 3. Who are these guys?
These are the guys that went to the Final Four a year ago, OB. You remember we watched the Wolfpack go to the offensive glass and come up with second chance opportunities, push them to a 9-game winning streak that got them to the 4.
Nine and 10, NC State has come to Cameron Indoor and shot the lights out here so far in the first half. On the 3-pointers, 5 out of 7. Duke is just 1 for 7. They have reversed roles.
OB, you have a number of guys on the roster for the Wolfpack that are from the state of North Carolina. This is a bucket list to be able to come in here and play in this building. The Wolfpack did not play here a season ago. Their matchup was in Raleigh at Lenovo Center. So this is the first time that most of these guys have played in this uniform against the Blue Devils on this floor, and they have taken it as such and making sure they don't take for granted this opportunity.
They look like they've been invited. They're having a great time. Cooper Flagg leans in for 2. That was a basket Duke desperately needed. NC State still up by 10. Raining threes and hitting them. Keatts is going to go back to his bench. He's got 3 guys ready to come in, so he's really shuttling them in and out.
Yeah, the guys that are coming in are starters. His bench guys have been very productive to start this game.
Huntley Hopkins stripped by Flagg. Cooper Flagg with a theft. Proctor finds an open lane, kicks it out. Knipper from the corner, got it. He nails the 3. He's got 8 points. So Duke with a response, and how about this? The pick by James. He'll slam it in. Trey Parker was looking to his bench for instruction. He fell asleep, and James pounced.
And just like that, the momentum has turned in favor of the Blue Devils. Another steal.
Proctor out in front. Proctor lays it up. He can't finish it. Knipple came in strong and back out. Here's Flagg. Knipple off the great head fake. Proctor is open. Too strong. Knipple knocked it away. Malawash hit the deck. Great hustle. Flagg with a slam, but no. There's a foul. How about this action? And this pace since the timeout. Huntley Hatfield with his second foul. Duke on a 7-0 run.
Welcome to Cameron Indoor Stadium. It only takes a quick spark for the Blue Devils to get going, and it all happened. Knipple knocking down a three, and then to Sion James steal for a dunk. And the UNC warm-up, maybe the Blue Devils looking past this game to start it off. However, they're awake and in it now.
Well, I give NC State a lot of credit the way they shot the basketball in the first 10 minutes. Can they keep that up? Rebound tapped around. Knipple gets to it first.
Another offensive rebound for the Blue Devils.
Knipple looking to shoot. Just about every time he touches it, he's the hot hand. How about this one? Malawach with an airmail. That's not what they were looking for. And Taylor will set it up now for the Wolfpack. The pace frenetic, to put it mildly. Hill with the scoop shot, but no, the reverse won't drop. In transition, James. Malawach does not attempt a three there. Here's Flagg. Flagg does, but it's around and out. James has the rebound taken away by Middlebrooks, and a foul on the play.
I tell you what, Ben Middlebrooks did a very strong thing there. If you take the basketball away from Sion James, he has it in both hands. Ben Middlebrooks showing some strength there. Sion James has his basketball. Well, it was a little bit of a bounce off his chest there, but Ben Middlebrooks taking it away and then ends up getting the foul from way up here on the roof where we sit to call these games. And it looked as though he took that right out of Sion James' hands, but a little unfortunate bounce for Middlebrooks on that one.
23-19 NC State. Styles was cooking early. He'll drive it this time. What a tough shot.
Confident by Dontrez Styles to start this game. Now, we mentioned guys from the state of North Carolina. However, Dontrez Styles spent the first 2 years of his college career at the University of North Carolina. So he played here every year for the first two. Now has an opportunity to get back in this building in his last year as a basketball player at NC State.
No, a lot of rim. The Styles 8 points. He came in averaging 9. And they needed somebody to really explode. Oh, the rejection. Malawach said, not in here. O'Connell doesn't do a lot of scoring, only about 7 points a game. He's their distributor. Taylor from 3. Rebound comes out of bounds and back over to Duke. Exactly 7 minutes to go. And this place really got cooking and really got loud.
Another area of Duke's defensive prowess. They defend the rim. Common Malawach with a denial.
Hey, coming up next on ESPN, Curtis Jones, Keyshawn Gilbert, and number 3 Iowa State to take on Caleb Love and Arizona. Should be a good one.
It absolutely should be. OB, Keyshawn Gilbert, Caleb Love, both hailing from St. Louis, from the Lou. Those two guys played against each other in high school and now going to match up against each other on the big stage. Big Monday. The stage doesn't get any bigger than that.
It certainly doesn't. The pride of St. Louis. Meanwhile, back at Cameron Indoor, NC State came out firing, hitting threes like they haven't all season long. And they had a lead as many as 12 points when it was 23-11. Before Duke responded. Now the Blue Devils have the ball back. Here's Foster. Let's see if Flagg starts to get going.
But, Obi, look at the pressure, how the Wolfpack are forcing the Blue Devils to catch the basketball much further out of their comfort zone. Dontrez Styles doing the job defensively, and Cooper Flagg blocking the shot but not finishing the defensive play.
Gets it back downstairs, and this time it's Middlebrooks to swat it away.
Yeah, Ben Middlebrooks, who leads the ACC in shot blocking at 1.7 per game. It's the stat that Kevin Keach does not like to hear about, because that means that he's getting way too many opportunities because the guards aren't keeping the guys in front.
1.8 on the shot clock. Duke has to hurry. Knipple off the inbounds. It won't drop. Rebound tip to Hill, and here he comes. Marcus Hill, a well-run break, laid up and in by O'Connell.
The 2-on-1 executed to perfection. Marcus Hill forcing Tyrese Proctor to commit, drops it off for the easy layup.
Knipple swishes it in. He's got the shooting eye in this one. He bounced back from 0 points against Boston College. Shot the ball much better against Wake Forest. He had 15 points, also 9 rebounds.
And that's his spot, Obi. He loves that corner. Has been successful there multiple times already in this game.
Styles feeling it. 2 more.
Dontrez Styles is off to a great start in the first half, and not only offensively, but accepting the challenge going up against Cooper Flagg, the front runner for ACC Player of the Year. And right now, Dontrez Styles is winning that battle.
Came in shooting only 30% from 3-point land. He hit the first triple. He was off to the races. Proctor, heavy traffic, can't convert. Bodies hitting the deck as Malawich went down and drew the foul.
Obi, this is the way they teach it in practice. This is a 2-on-1 to perfection. You see how Marcus Hill forces Tyrese Proctor to commit, stop the basketball, and on the other end, when you drive the basketball, you have to rely on your shooters to be in the corner. Con Knipple finding his spot, knocking down another 3 from the corner.
Kyle Server, the director of communications for Duke, had a great note earlier today about Knipple, that his great-grandfather, Bud Rose, was the captain of the 1931-32 NC State basketball team and was an honorable All-American. Honorable mention All-American, the first NC State player to claim national recognition. So he's got NC State in his blood.
He absolutely has NC State in his blood, and he's gotten off to a great start against Grandpa's old team, as have the Pat in this building now made 6 threes. Obi, they only made 5 in their last 2 games combined, and they've taken 20 less attempts in this game thus far.
Amazing. Look at this, 32-22 NC State and a whistle. And it's Duke with the cold hand, other than Knipple. And Con's mom, Dontrez Styles, with a foul.
Yeah, there's Sherry, who's the all-time leading scorer at Wisconsin Green Bay. You know, and we Googled her earlier, and everything came up about Con's dad, Con II. We didn't realize that Mom was the ball player in the family. She made it clear. She says, hey, you can find all kinds of stuff about my husband on Google, but my jersey hangs in the rafters at Wisconsin.
Very casual. My jersey's up there. Just want everyone to know that, too. So, James up top. Gillis off the fake. Off the elbow, no, that won't fall. So even the open looks just not going as often for Duke in this one.
And Blue Devils, 1 of their last 11 from the field. So the struggle for the Blue Devils has been on the offensive side, which is rare. Oh, nice pass.
Billy Brooks in the kick-out Styles. They want him to shoot it. Shoot it, he does. And another 3. 13 points for Dontrez Styles. Averaging 9 a game coming in.
Obi, I've always said that I love shooting in this gym. And when you come in, it's a different depth perception playing at Cameron Indoor than it is in most arenas that you play in, because you don't have the huge backdrop that you see in the majority of the arenas. I believe that actually helps opposing teams coming in.
Boy, Flagg got a great look, didn't he? Wide open, missed it. NC State playing with great confidence. Taylor. Middlebrooks knocked away by Proctor, and now a scrum for that. And a great job by Taylor to get to that first. Middlebrooks down the lane, going strong, no. And no whistle. Sion James. Euro stepping his way in for 2.
And great recognition by Sion James to attack one-on-one. Was not looking to pass the basketball, uses his strength to be able to get the bucket.
NC State, here's the headline. They've taken 11 threes. Corey, they've hit 7. They have been one of the conference's worst shooting teams beyond the 3-point line, but not tonight. Middlebrooks badly wants to get it up there. Can't stick it. Flagg with the board. And now Duke with their backs up against it here in the first half, trailing 35-24. Flagg, nice dish downstairs for the stuff. Malawich wide open.
Nice find from Cooper Flagg at the top of the key. You can see both Middlebrooks and Styles intent on trying to stop Cooper Flagg, keeping him away from the basket. So what does he do? Make the right play, give it up for the easy dunk to Kama Malowacz.
2:16 remaining. NC State on top here at Cameron Indoor. It has been so far, Kev. There's no question about that. Looking forward to you guys coming up at halftime. 2 minutes, 16 seconds before the break. The largest deficit this season for Duke was 14 in Louisville. Tonight, so far, 13.
And when you consider the way the Wolfpack have been able to build this lead, knocking down to 3, and that's one of the things that coaches have said about the Blue Devils. They will give up good looks from 3. You just have to take advantage of them and knock them down. And the Pack have done that here tonight.
Middlebrooks out of the double. O'Connell splits the defense and lays it in. They're also making a lot of smart decisions.
They really are, and they started out turning the basketball over, which is uncharacteristic of the Wolfpack, but since then have settled in and getting good looks on each and every time down the floor and being able to capitalize on the Michael O'Connell. We talked about OB. He can be more aggressive. 9 points, 4 from the field.
Guy who came in averaging just 7. Proctor on the drive, lays it in. Nobody stopped him. Tyrese Proctor, the 6'6" junior from Australia. But NC State has owned this first half as they look for a mammoth upset tonight in the ACC. Long way to go, but 1 minute and 10 before halftime. Flagg converging, nearly got the theft. O'Connell lost it, and he's going to commit the foul. The collision after the theft, that'll be his second personal.
And created by the trap at the top. Cooper Flagg and Mason Gillis. Oh, sorry, we see the play earlier. Great ball movement by the Wolfpack, finding Dontrez Styles in the corner for one of the 7 threes already made. And that's the way that the Wolfpack have been able to have success, sharing the basketball. 10 assists on 14 made field goals early in this game, and really taking a page out of the Blue Devils book. Kevin Keats talked to us about how great a passing team the Blue Devils are, but their pressure has really taken Duke out of sharing the basketball.
Gillis taking the first one, so he'll get another one. Gillis, the graduate out of Newcastle, Indiana. Long career at Purdue before coming here to Duke. A very impactful 23 minutes on Saturday. 11.6 rebounds. And that veteran calming influence made a huge difference in that road win at Wake Forest.
John Shire raves about Mason Gillis. Look at him right now, OB. He comes in and he's playing the 5 position. This guy's a small forward coming in, and he talked about being a grad transfer and being so selfless, not concerned about anything other than the success of the team.
Shot clock inside 10 here for the Pack. Hill looking for some room to operate. Pulls up on James and can't stick it. Rebound comes out high, and it's Gillis to chase it down. Half a minute to halftime. 20 on the shot clock. Knipples hit some long ones here in the first half. He's got 10 to get a shot off. And tipped by the Wolfpack. And Duke will keep it here with 13 seconds before the break. And the shot clock at 7.
But for the second consecutive game, the Blue Devils will go into the halftime locker room down. John Shire said they need these type of tests. They haven't had many early.
Entry here for Flagg. The kick for Proctor. In and out. Rebounded to James on the tip. He lays it up and in. He's hit on the play too. He'll be headed to the line with 6 seconds to go. And Duke closing the gap here the last couple of minutes.
And trying to take some momentum into that halftime locker room. The offensive rebound by Sion James, the strength to be able to finish through contact. An and one opportunity. Trying to cut it to 4 for the Blue Devils and looking for a stop with 6 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Hill with the foul, his first. And James connects for the three-point play. Final seconds. Here's Taylor. And a whistle before the shot.
And that was a foul to give for the Blue Devils, so great job by Tyrese Proctor taking that away, because that would have been a good look, another look for 3 for the Wolfpack, who shot the basketball extremely well here in this first half.
And now they have 2.1 seconds to get one up. Pass in. Long run here by Parker Jr. A lot of iron, but it dropped away. But man, did they hit a lot of impressive shots. And for the first time at home this season, Duke is trailing to the Wolfpack here, 37-33.
Kevin Keats has to be extremely excited about the effort from this team in the first half of this game, but cannot fall in love with the 3. They've got to come out and continue to do the job defensively if they want to pull off the upset here against the #2 team in the country.
We've got a ball game. Duke a heavy favorite, but it is NC State in front. After the first 20 minutes, they made 7 out of 12 from three-point land. As we go to Kev, Seth, and Andrea. Well, NC State has played with confidence against Duke very recently in the ACC tournament, knocking them out. They went on to win it. And then the NCAA tournament, that magical run behind Burns and Horn and company, all the way to the Elite Eight and knocked out Duke again, 76-64. So they felt pretty darn good about themselves coming into Cameron Indoor tonight, and they have the lead at halftime, 37-33. These two teams, Corey, have switched roles. If you told me before the game one team at halftime would be 3 for 16 from 3, I'd say that's probably NC State. It's Duke so far.
The way NC State has struggled from 3, no one expected this type of shooting coming in, especially the Blue Devils. However, 7 of 12 from beyond the three-point arc. Dontrez Styles got it started early, knocking down the first 3 of the game on his first shot. Michael O'Connell getting involved in the mix. James Taylor, the usual suspects. And when you look at what is going on with NC State right now, the confidence that they're playing with on the offensive end of the floor, they're looking to pull off a huge upset here in Cameron Indoor.
Styles leading the way with 13 points for the Pack. Cooper Flagg held to 5 points in the first half for the Duke Blue Devils. The million-dollar question is, can NC State keep shooting it like this?
Well, I'm not sure they can continue to shoot it like this, but what they can do is continue to try to give the effort defensively that they've done. You have to consider holding Cooper Flagg to only 5 points. That hasn't happened often for him in a half in his sensational freshman year.
Wolfpack with the ball to open up the second half here at sold-out Cameron Indoor. Styles got him off and running with a big 3. He'll step back and fire well short to open the second half. Duke with a 13-game winning streak on the line. 9-0 in conference play. Here's Flagg trying to make a move, and he'll draw the foul. Let's go down to Byram.
You know, I talked to John Shire at halftime. He said, listen, they came out and they were more prepared than we were. And they were tougher than we were as well. And he stopped me and he said, listen, it comes down to guarding. You have to be a player in this game. You have to show who you are. And you really have to amplify the defense. That's where he is most concerned about what he saw in the first half, fellas.
Well, when he talks about being more prepared, of course, he's taking accountability on himself with that one. But we saw the Blue Devil mascot with the UNC warm-up on his headband. Is this a trap game where the Blue Devils, and I know John Shire's not, but are the players thinking that NC State can't beat them coming into this building?
Phillipson comes up with a loose ball. He'll lean in for 2. And he was the one really reliable guy in the first half.
He absolutely was. He was their spark on the offensive end of the floor. Con Knippel into double figures with 11 points.
O'Connell gives up the dribble. Marcus Hill, a 6'4" senior, and a transfer from Bowling Green, trying to weave his way inside. His jumper, no. Duke looking for early momentum. Well, they had it down the stretch of the first half. They went on a 7-0 run. Right at the tail end of the first half. Knipple with another touch. Back off for Flagg. Averaging 20. Knipple again from the foul line. Got the pass away. And out of play off the pack. Off the fingertips of Middlebrooks. And the shot clock sitting at 6. As we check out the standings in the ACC, Duke perfect. Clemson 9-1.
A big battle tomorrow in Louisville. Wake Forest visiting. Big game for both those teams.
Hill with a crossover into the paint. Back out for O'Connell and can't connect. Knipple. Here's James. James looking for contact, swatted out. Good job by Taylor to make sure that was nowhere near the rim. And it'll be Duke ball.
O'Connell getting back and does a great job of jumping and going vertically. If he tries to take that charge, most likely it's going to be 2 free throws for Sion James. A smart play by O'Connell to get in the air and contest.
Flagg making a move. He'll draw the foul.
And Dontrez Styles is trying to be physical with Cooper Flagg. He was able to get away with it some in the first half, but had been called for 2 fouls already here to start the second half, as Cooper Flagg will continue to try to attack getting downhill.
Yeah, Styles has 3 for the game.
Yeah, at halftime, his teammates surrounded him, Cooper Flagg, and said, get yourself going, Cooper, get yourself going. And they said, this is what you want, this kind of adversity.
Just like that.
Well, and that's the way to respond. Cooper Flagg is at his best when he's getting downhill, and that's what he's tried to do to begin this second half. Already drawn 2 fouls on Dontrez Styles, and as soon as Styles has to check out, he goes and gets a bucket.
Tied at 37. Taylor draws the double. Taylor getting it back. On the drive, he jumps to the corner. Shot clock down to 1, a heat by O'Connell. Fires that one out of play. So Duke trying to take the lead for the first time since it was 2-0.
And the Crazies have inserted themselves into the game as John Shire encourages a second shot clock violation on the defensive end for the Blue Devils.
Knipple thought about it. He'll drive it. The fall away. Got it. And Duke is retaking the lead. 39-37. 15 for Knipple. So since putting up that goose egg against Boston College, he's been a different guy.
Yeah, Knipple was scoreless. First time since middle school he played the game and did not score.
Hill looking for a triple. The save goes back to Flagg. Flagg on the attack. Slams it down. A two-hand stuff. Well, Knipple, along with Cooper Flagg, leading the Duke Blue Devils back and now on top with his mom Sherry in the stands and loving it tonight.
Sherry absolutely loving it. She shed the jacket. She's got her jersey on, looking like she's ready to go hoop right now, OB. But she's saying that she taught her son everything that he knows. Of course, the all-time leading scorer at the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. Mom could absolutely go get a bucket.
Hey, Duke scored the last 7 points of the first half, the first 8 points of the second half, so something has clicked here.
And that's a common occurrence. We've seen that happen with the Blue Devils in the stretch against Notre Dame and then Miami. So they've gone different halves with holding the opponent scoreless, as well as continuing to go on extensive offensive runs.
Shot clock at 3. McNeil with a step back, an excellent shooter. Can't drain it, though, and it never did get to the iron. That's a shot clock violation.
And the third shot clock violation for the Blue Devils, whose defense has gotten extremely stingy as Cooper Flagg continues to find his way to the top of the highlight reel.
Well, didn't he? You know, when he was with Coach K and those great teams of Coach K, and the hallmark was coming out of halftime, just putting the hammer down. Those 5 minutes were deadly.
From Krzyzewski to Shire, the name has changed, but the game has not. They continue to do, especially in this building, OB, that last 5 minutes of the first half, the opening 5 minutes of the second half is normally where Duke separates itself from its opponents.
The nipple off the curl, can't bury it. And O'Connell will have that one go out of play, and the Wolfpack will have possession here. NC State scoreless over the last 6 minutes. So Duke's defense, which has been praised by pretty much every coach they've come up against, on display again here tonight at Cameron Indoor.
OB, the Blue Devils are the only team in the country that average over 80 and give up less than 60. They have a plus 20 margin of victory throughout the season, and now trying to find a way to get some separation. The great equalizer will be the three-point shot, which NC State did so well in the first half, but missing an opportunity on that possession.
Well, they led by 4 at halftime. Now it's 41-37 Duke. James slamming on the brakes. Off the window, won't drop. He'll stay right here. And our SEC ACC Super Tuesday doubleheader on ESPN coming your way. Number 12 Kentucky and number 8 Tennessee off that war with Auburn at 7 o'clock Eastern. Then R.J. Davis in North Carolina. They're in Pittsburgh squaring off against the Panthers.
Huge game in Pittsburgh as Cooper Flagg gets to double figures, attacking the basket with the nice finger roll. But Pittsburgh in need of a quality win. 4 ACC losses already. A great opportunity with North Carolina coming into their building.
Monroe staying home, got the deflection. James comes up with a loose ball. Flagg somehow caught that. He goes airborne and draws the foul. Well, for a split second, I thought maybe he was sizing up another spectacular dunk.
Yeah, well, that's the power, OB. Cooper showing off that he's also got the finesse as he gets to the rim and avoiding the defenders with the beautiful finger roll, as my man Ice would say back in the day. If you don't know, that would be George Gerving who made the finger roll, even though everybody was doing it then. It was such a skill, but Ice really made it.
His was beautiful.
It was absolutely poetry in motion.
It was like snow down a bamboo leaf, you know? Our producer, Kim Belt, was a heck of a player in the day, and one of the thrills of his life was he took a charge on George.
But did George still get the finger roll is what I'm trying to figure out.
44-37. Flagg at the line, very reliable there at 81%.
OB, we've often seen this. Cooper Flagg in the first half, more facilitator, trying to execute what the coach is asking to be done. In the second half, gets into scoring mode. He's had some big halves throughout his young career thus far, and on the way to another one here.
Duke has put a chill on NC State shooting the ball. They're 0 for 8, making 0 for 9. Proctor up over for Flagg, and no. Almost had a Cooper loop there.
I like that, a Cooper loop. Got to trademark that one, my man.
Not this time, anyway.
Got Kelly and Ralph out of their seats, though. Yes. Grandma and Granddad beside him.
45-37. And Flagg will lace up a shoe.
For those that don't know, I'm sure many do, rest in peace to the late, great Kobe Bryant. As you see Coop rocking his Kobe's. We are 5 years and 1 day past losing the legend that also played for, of course, the great Mike Krzyzewski in the Olympics on the Redeem team, winning a gold medal in 2008 and again in 2012.
Have you watched any of the piece that CNN is doing on him?
I didn't get to see much TV in English for the last 4 days.
You're in Paris loving the NBA over there, but wait till you watch it. It's tremendous.
I'm looking forward to it.
Great insight. Pull-up pop here by Parker. And one they desperately needed.
Yeah, first basket of the second half for the Wolfpack.
And he has 7. Flag with a screen. Knipple to the paint with a fall away. Well, they did everything right there except make the shot. And NC State still hanging around despite the cold shooting in the second half. Another one on the way. Swished in this time by Styles. He's back in the game, playing with the 3 fouls. You and I were talking about during the commercial break. When do you get him back in? He's been your top scorer.
Absolutely. And you were calling for him to get back in the game. You got to trust him with the 3 fouls. But this is where he has to be smart on the defensive end of the floor. He wants to be physical, but you got to be smart about it, especially guarding Cooper Flag 30 feet away from the basket.
Knipple will drive it. Lost the hit of draws the foul. Stops the clock with 12:40 to go in a 3-point game, and a foul on Parker. And coming up on Thursday, 2 more great women's basketball matchups for you. Number 7 LSU and 13th ranked Oklahoma at 7. And then Iowa State takes on number 11 K-State. Should be another great night of women's college basketball as Knipple hits. Their best foul shooter, 85%. And Flag with a little bit of a rest.
It's Caleb Foster, Mason Gillis checking to the game. We talked with John Shire regarding Caleb Foster and trying to find a way to really get his confidence back. Caleb Foster, who started the season as the point guard for this Duke Blue Devil team. Sion James subsequently coming in and taking over that role. But Caleb Foster is going to be a necessary rotation piece for these Blue Devils as they move forward and try to accomplish their goal of winning a national championship. They're going to need his production.
Styles. Can he lead the pack back in this one? Parker making a move. Up and hits the shot.
Say what, Trey Parker's been confident, Obi. He came in, knocked down a 3 on his first shot in the first half, and now back-to-back buckets for the Wolfpack. Trey Parker coming off the bench.
Usually a thrilling dunk artist. He's got about 1 million followers. Tough shot off the window. That won't drop for Foster. 47-44, so the Pack with an opportunity to tie here. And a foul here against Duke, and the shove on Sion James. That'll be his second personal. We've got a timeout, 11:51 to go. Still remaining close, 47-44 Duke.
Dontrez Styles from Kinston, North Carolina. Home of Jerry Stackhouse, home of Brandon Ingram, who both have had great moments in Cameron Indoor, trying to have his own great moment here to knock off the number 2 team in the country. Styles with 16 points already in this game, also defending Cooper Flag. And the last time Dontrez Styles was in this building, OB, he was part of the University of North Carolina team that ended Coach K's career here in this building.
NC State, though, in the first half, putting on a shooting clinic. A foul here. They were 7 out of 12 from the 3-point land, just 1 out of 6 in the second half. We were wondering coming into the second half, would they cool off, and they have. On the watch will pick up his first foul. Huntley Hatfield looking for the paint. He'll fall away and miss. Duke looking to build on a 3-point advantage. James gets downstairs and up and in.
And Sion James is always going to have an advantage going up against smaller guards, especially in transition. Just using his size and strength to overpower and get the bucket.
He had a tough one on Saturday, 1 for 6 shooting it. But his hoop here makes it 49-44. Marcus Hill trying to get started with the scoop. It won't drop, but a foul. And he'll be headed to line with about 11 minutes to play.
Sion James in transition with a significant height advantage and strength advantage over Marcus Hill, able to get to his spot and just elevate over the top. And that's another advantage that the Blue Devils have. They're the tallest team in the country. And so they don't have anyone other on the roster other than Spencer Hubbard at 5'8", but no one in the rotation under 6'5". And so you consider that guards are going to be bigger and have advantages. Oftentimes they can just go to the block and get an easy one.
Hill is 68% foul shooter, drains the first. Transfer from Bowling Green, led the MAC in scoring last year, 21 points a game. And Flagg back on after a breather. By the way, the first foul shots of the game for NC State. Of course, they've been living outside beyond that three-point line for a lot of it. Hill's best game was 23 against Florida State. That was an overtime victory for the Wolfpack.
And he's been their most reliable scorer throughout this season. But Kevin Keats made it clear to us they don't have one guy that they can depend on to go get them 20 each and every night. So they got to do it by committee. Of course, Marcus Hill going to have to be a large part of that.
Yeah, last year they had like 3 or 4.
Yes. Especially when you consider the inside-outside combination of DJ Horn and DJ Burns.
Just so much fun. Flagg got it up off the window, and it goes out of play. Shot clock a factor here, down to 9. Duke coming from behind on Saturday and attempting to do the same thing here at home. As they were down at halftime. Gillis. Here's Flagg. Turn around with that shot clock winding down, and it's a violation.
And another great defensive stand by Dontrez Styles, blocking Cooper Flagg's attempt at the shot clock buzzer. And Styles doing everything he can to keep Cooper Flagg from getting into his comfort zone. Chesting here and then walling up. Does have a handful of Cooper's jersey from the back, but hey, the officials can't see that. They shield it from all the big bodies in the paint.
Well, certainly was a foul on the replay in a couple of different ways, but here's a whistle. Ron Gruber calling for a foul. 10:21 to go. And Duke leading at 49-45. And this one will get on Gungba, his second, and Shire shaking his head.
But John Shire talked to us about, hey, teams are going to be physical. We've got a young team. They're going to feel like they can come in and beat us up. That's where you've got guys like Sion James, like Mason Gillis to come in and provide the physicality on the Duke end of the floor to make sure that the young guys don't shy away from it.
Yeah, Gungba with another foul.
And again, playing with his chest, but Gungba trying to get back in position. And Ben Middlebrooks falling out of bounds. Now, if Middlebrooks stays on his feet, that probably doesn't get called.
Parker with a bounce here for Middlebrooks. It got out of hand, I thought, in Auburn, Tennessee on Saturday. That looked more like a football game. Taylor with a fall away. Sticks it.
Big bucket from Jaden Taylor. And he's another guy that can provide an offensive punch. As you see the Wolfpack picking up 94 feet, forcing Cooper Flagg to have to dribble 94, but still gets to a spot, gets the foul, and most importantly puts the 4th foul on Dontrez Styles, who will have to go take a seat. Smart play by Cooper Flagg, taking advantage of the aggressiveness of Styles on the defensive end.
Just under 10 minutes to go.
Styles has been the difference maker, OB. With him on the floor, the Wolfpack have been an advantage. When he has to go sit down, Cooper Flagg has had his way, especially when Styles got the 3 fouls at the beginning of the second half. And Kevin Keats right now, well, he's going to get Brandon Huntley-Hatfield onto the floor. NC State's going to go big right now, the 2 bigs on the floor. Be interesting to see who takes the challenge of guarding Cooper Flagg defensively.
So Styles to the bench. That is a huge loss for the Wolfpack, the way he's played tonight. And it's been Flagg and Knipple for the most part here for Duke. 15 for Cooper Flagg tonight. Now with his 16 points, Styles has to sit. And another whistle. Those are starting to pile up.
And they're going to get Cooper Flagg for having a right arm wrapped around Brandon Huntley-Hatfield, and that's the way they're going to go about it. The Wolfpack are going to try to post Cooper Flagg and make him defend. Watch Cooper Flagg's right arm
That's going to be the foul that's going to be called right there. Both hands around the waist of Huntley Hatfield as he tries to post.
Seeing a lot of jerseys being grabbed, a lot of bumping here. Parker will lift it and hit it.
Trey Parker has been spectacular coming off the bench for the Wolfpack. Now in double figures. No, only 9 for Parker. I thought he hit 2 threes.
No, he has 12.
Oh, okay, my iPad hadn't updated yet.
A 1-point game, and he's been a non-factor offensively at times this year. Not tonight. Cooper Flagg looking to answer. Yes! And a foul as well. Absolutely drained it.
OB, if freshmen stayed in school, we would be talking about the future of the ACC. On one end of the floor, the freshman Trey Parker going to work. On the other end, Cooper Flagg knocking down the 3 and the contact as we see 2 freshmen going at it here in a big-time ACC matchup. However, I don't think this freshman's going to be in school next year.
Drops that in for a 4-point play. Many believe he's the best player in America. Jedi Broom would have something to say about that at Auburn.
I believe he would have so, but look at John Sire going zone again. We saw this against Wake Forest, and now the Blue Devils going into a zone defensively.
Middlebrooks, and it forces a turnover. Flagg around the back. Cooper Flagg heating up, commanding it out of the double. Finds an open man in James. Shot clock at 15, plenty of time. Flagg again on Hill, pulls up and pops, and knocks it down. He's starting to take over the game.
He started taking over the game the first possession of the second half when he drew a foul on Dontre Styles, and now with Styles having to watch, Cooper Flagg is having his way.
And a timeout. Kevin Keats and the Wolfpack. Cooper Flagg has been the story of the second half with 16.
OB, they try to tell me Coop doesn't have a handle. The behind the back, the pull up in the mid-range, knocks it down. 16 second half points for Cooper Flagg as Dad Ralph loves the action here at Cameron. Obi, you witnessed on Saturday Cooper Flagg facilitating in the first half, responsible for 20 of the 35 points for the Blue Devils with his passing, a little bit of scoring, but in the second half, he started dominating, going to work, getting downhill, attacking the rim. 15 of Duke's 28 second half points accounted for scoring the basketball, and of course, another highlight finish for Cooper Flagg as he continues to dominate second halves of games. First half, 5 points, already 16 second half points, and OB, I've got the feeling he's not quite finished yet.
Well, you know, I know you admire this about him, that ability to sense what needs to be done. If it's the pass or it's the rebound, in this case, a whole lot of scoring to bring them back and take the lead. And a rejection by Flagg. It went out of play. 11 on the shot clock. And that too.
At 1.2 blocks per game, he is 10th in the ACC in block shots, which makes a perfect quintet. Of all the major statistical categories, he's in the top 10 in the ACC.
Unbelievable. 3 times the player of the week in the conference, 7 times the rookie of the week.
Let's make it 8. He was named co-rookie of the week today.
Co-rookie of the week today. And a third straight 20-point game. 57-50 Duke. Here's Kemple. Model watch for James.
Oh, got one. Kemple passed up an opportunity.
Won't pass up this one, but can't hit it.
I thought he should have taken the 3 at the top. He had enough space to be able to get a good look when Marcus Hill had to help.
In transition, looking for the 3, and now a rattle home for Parker.
I tell you what, it's been an impressive performance for Trey Parker, knocking down his 3rd 3 of the evening.
And he's been big for the Wolfpack, especially in the second half. He got their first basket of the second half after a scoring drought and has continued to stay hot.
15 points. Flag on the move again. A drive, but a foul. Boy, he's just got that look in his eye, doesn't he?
And that was really a double screen and two NC State players running into each other as Kama Malawach was fighting to try to set the screen for Cooper. And by not allowing Malawach to run and set the screen, two NC State players actually ran into each other, creating an opportunity for Cooper to get downhill.
Huntley Hatfield with his third. And Cooper Flagg to shoot, the freshman from Newport, Maine. Coming off 24 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists on Saturday at Wake Forest. And coming up this Saturday, ACC Network, a triple header. FSU and BC start us off at 2. That's followed by Virginia Tech and Virginia, the Commonwealth Clash, and then SMU hosting Stanford to cap the night.
That's a big game. Stanford playing great basketball. SMU and Stanford both in the top third of the ACC in their inaugural year. So both those teams playing really good basketball, and in consideration to be able to get an at-large bid if they don't win the ACC tournament.
Parker wants to get it downstairs. Nice pass, but no conversion there. But a whistle too. Huntley Hatfield unable to make the basket, but takes the hit. 6:34 left. NC State not quitting on this one.
And the competition for Cooper Flagg for ACC Player of the Year would be this gentleman right here, Maxime Reynaud, averaging 20.5 points per game and 11.7 rebounds. Those are Kim Belton numbers. You kidding me? At Stanford, putting up a double-double, 16 double-doubles, first nationally, and playing very good basketball. Stanford with some quality wins in the first year in ACC under head coach Kyle Smith. And you consider the back and forth cross country trips, they maybe should get an extra win just for that alone.
And they will be here at Cameron Indoor on February 15.
We'll be here for that one.
We'll have that one on ESPN, actually on ABC. And that one will drop in for Huntley Hatfield, who has 6. This is still a 4-point game.
Oh yeah, NC State's not going away. Give Trey Parker a lot of credit for that. He's been the guy keeping them in the game.
James looking to penetrate, poked away. Taylor got a hand on it. Here's Styles back in there, trying to lay it up and in.
I love it. Dontrez Styles attacking the basket, didn't settle, kicking it out to Marcus Hill for a 3, recognizing it would be tough for a defender to take a charge or stop him at the rim, gets a bucket to cut it to 2.
Styles with 18 and a timeout. John Shire. This is a 2-point game with about 6 minutes to go. NC State with another comeback, and they have closed the gap again. That Cameron Indoor is still up for grabs. NC State 10 out of 20 from the 3-point line. They have been awful, quite frankly, from the 3-point line this season. Not tonight. Cooper Flagg in the second half, 18 points, trying to lead Duke to a 14th consecutive win, but they are in for a fight.
They absolutely are. OB, in the first half it was Con Knippel. The second half is Cooper Flagg. The two freshmen have combined for 40 of Duke's 59 points. That is outmatching right now the combination of Dontrez Styles and Trey Parker on the other side of NC State, who have 33 of their 57. So it's going to be interesting to see who else can find someone that steps up in this game.
And NC State has defeated Duke 2 of the last 3 times they have played, including the ACC tournament, the NCAA tournament last spring. The roll for James. He'll slam it down.
Great execution out of the timeout for the Blue Devils. Really a ghost screen by Sion James as 2 defenders go with the shooter and Con Knippel, allowing James to get the easy bucket.
Parker looking for the entry feed. James comes over, commits the foul. 5:32 on the clock. And Sion James with foul number 3. NC State has lost 4 straight, 6 of their last 7.
OB, look at the screen. It's really a go screen. There's no screen there, just touch and go. But because you've got to pay so much attention to Con Knuppel as a shooter, both defenders go his direction, allowing Sion James to get the easy slip and the dunk.
Brandon Huntley-Hatfield at the line, where he makes 75%. NC State, his 3rd school. He's also spent time at Tennessee and Louisville. 6'10" senior with another one on the way. He drops in the pair. 2-point game. Proctor at midcourt. Trying to shake Taylor. Here's Flag. Flag commanding it. The scoop around and out. The tip won't drop.
A strong effort defensively by Dontre Styles, not allowing Cooper Flag to get to his comfort spot.
Styles lines it up. That missed badly. And a whistle and a foul here against NC State.
And Kevin Keats is outraged as that basketball goes off of Sion James out of bounds, but it's going to be a foul called
on Huntley-Hatfield. That's going to be his 4th. With just under 5 minutes to go.
You see Sion James and Huntley-Hatfield colliding. Oh, I believe that is Sion James tripping over Mason Gillis.
Boy, I think you might be right. And the call goes against NC State when it should not have.
Yeah, that was tripping over his own teammate. Now, there was a collision between the two, but I don't believe either.
Previous action is under review.
It's going to be interesting to see as they look at this, and then what they're looking at is both Sion James and Brandon Huntley-Hatfield collide. What they're looking at is there anything extra from Brandon Huntley-Hatfield in the middle of that lane as the two come together? Does he give a little bit extra? Because the foul, if there's a foul, it's on Mason Gillis. That's who actually clipped Sion James. Now, if they're looking to see if there was something extra, but I can completely understand Kevin Keats being incensed about that basketball being rewarded to the Blue Devils because it absolutely went off of Sion James.
He'll stick with a common foul here. Ron Groover, Lee Cassell, and Bill Covington Jr. are officials tonight. And so Duke to shoot. It'll be a 1-and-1. And James to the line, 74% there. And working on an 11-point game. The grad out of Sugar Hill, Georgia.
And Obi, he did not have a great game at Wake Forest, but John Shire said even though he didn't play well, was as happy as anyone on his team in the locker room afterwards. We see the foul trouble building up for the Wolfpack. Dontre Styles, who's been absolutely fantastic here tonight with 4 fouls, as well as Brandon Huntley-Hatfield.
NC State's played a terrific game. And still very much alive in this one. Can they make the shots down the stretch? They make so many of them tonight. Styles and Parker have been a huge hunk of the offense. Hill getting down low, and 2 points for him and a whistle.
That's his game, OB. Marcus Hill loves to get downhill. And this time gets to the basket, shields off Sion James, and then collects the contact to get the foul. As you see him get to the other side of the basket, watch him stop immediately and then go up. The contact from James allows him to get the bucket, opportunity for the and one to the displeasure of John Shire, but Kevin Keats absolutely loves it.
James' 4th foul. Hill's 68% at the line. They can make this a 1-point game. He does. 63-62. Well, not many envision this tonight. Duke a heavy favorite. As spectacular as they have been, particularly in conference play, James denied. Flag wants it. He's on Styles. He takes him to the paint and lost it, but a bump and a foul.
They're going to get Taylor. That's not going to go on Styles. Malawatch takes a hit to the stomach and lost his lunch on the floor.
Yes, he did. So we have an official timeout with 4:21 to go. And a 1-point game.
Huntley Hatfield in the back. Oh, there's no contact, nothing there.
So I think we showed you enough of that. We're going to check in with the studio here. It is 63-62, Duke by 1.
OB will gladly take it. Iowa State, Arizona. Dre is going to start on ESPNU.
Yeah, and hopefully no throw up on the court and a lot of threes for Anthony Delorso. He's coming off of making 6 threes against Colorado in their last game.
That'll make their opponent throw up.
Yes, exactly. Coming right back.
Time of the home stretch brought to you by Allstate.
See the emotion of the coaches. John Shire, Kevin Keats both locked in. Trey Parker having his best game as a freshman. And, of course, the best freshman doing what he does on a normal basis.
And the cleanup crew hard at work with many towels after Malawatch got sick. The 7'2" freshman from South Sudan. I feel awful for him, but he feels a lot worse, quite obviously. 63-62, so down the stretch without a key big man.
Absolutely. Malawatch gone to the locker room, and OB, this team already playing without Malik Brown, who is their best defensive 5-man, and now playing without Malawatch on the floor. Pat Gungba stepping into the lineup. Big minutes for the freshman in a crucial spot in a very close game, a 1-point game here. John Shire said that without Malik Brown, they were going to find out a lot about their team and especially about their young players. We will absolutely see over the remaining 4:21 of this game.
Some good news for Duke before the game. Malik Brown did go through some of the drills and he warmed up. No intention for him to play. That's going to be some time yet, but he is getting closer. And this was him earlier tonight, so he is making progress to get back to the rotation.
Yeah, still hasn't really been able to participate in the 5-on-5 action in practice, but is closer. And John Shire said just from a mental standpoint, it's better to see him go through warm-ups and be on the bench with your uniform on in comparison to being over there in street clothes.
So Duke on top by a point, and for tonight's game check-in brought to you by Allstate, we look at that upcoming schedule. And right now, with dreams of running the table in the conference, dreams of 20-0, but they have a serious battle tonight, which was not really anticipated unless you look at the recent history. And frankly, as you pointed out a couple of times, where NC State has broken their hearts, and they did it twice last year.
And John Shire has made it very clear that they need these type of tests. Not every game is going to be a blowout. They have to go through these type of tests.
Let's check in with the studio.
All right, LB, while we await a great finish there in Durham, we've got a great one that's underway on ESPNU right now. 2 highest scoring teams in the Big 12, Coach.
Yeah, 2 explosive offenses, but this Iowa State defense is relentless. First possession of the game, they blitz the ball screen, create a turnover. That's Iowa State basketball. The key for Arizona, play in that middle third of the floor.
Yeah, find each other, stay connected on the offensive end, and make quick decisions because Iowa State is flying around defensively at all times.
2 teams tied for second in the Big 12, a game back of Houston. It's on ESPNU. OB, you'll see it here next.
Kev, thank you very much. And the game you were talking about, Arizona and Iowa State on ESPNU. As we come down the stretch, 4:21 to play. It'll be Cooper Flagg at the line. So the Blue Devils shorthanded here in these last 4 minutes plus.
OB, and as I go off topic, how great does it sound to hear Andrea Carter's voice in the studio, knowing that she grew up with us. That's little sis, you know, and now seeing her in the big time sitting in the studio.
We miss her an awful
We
lot.
absolutely miss her. We absolutely miss her, but seeing her grow on to do big things with Seth and KC in studio.
In great hands with those two. So 4:12 to go. 65-62 Duke.
Blue Devils back in the zone defensively. Had success with it on a number of possessions earlier in the second half. John Shire going back to it, resulting in a turnover once again.
Works again. It worked against Wake Forest. Even though he only went to it, he surprised his own team on Saturday for 4.5 minutes.
But those 4.5 minutes where Malawach was not on the floor. Now with Pat Gungba in the game, they normally go to the zone and use him at the center of that zone to force him to not have to switch out on screen and roll action.
Flag set a screen for James. He keeps on rolling. Rebound tipped and poked out. Knipple with another effort. Shot clock's down to 2. He's got to heave it up there. And it got off the backboard, not to the iron, so a shot clock violation.
And the Cameron Crazies tried to let Con Knipple know that the shot clock was going down. You could hear everyone in the building saying, shoo. Knipple finally recognizing it, but not able to get his legs under him to get a clean look.
And an official timeout. Something happened with the Cameron Crazies over there. Hope everybody is okay, but a stop in play. We have had a player get sick to his stomach, and now a fan having some sort of an issue. Likely to be one of the students over there in the student section, obviously, and yeah, it looks like the young lady has passed out here. And they are taking her away. Wow. And you just hope she is okay.
And prayers for the young lady. We've seen a little bit of everything in this second half. Wishing her well.
So 3.5 minutes to go. And NC State within 3. And Kevin Keats and company have come into Cameron Indoor and stuck right with the Duke Blue Devils. In fact, at halftime, NC State had the lead by 3, 37-34. They were shooting the lights out 7 out of 12 from three-point land. Duke was 3 for 16.
Duke defensively back into the zone, but it's not a normal zone. You see how far the wings, Cooper Flag, Con Knipple out. That middle's going to be open.
That hung on the iron and wouldn't drop, and it's tipped out.
And Sion James unable to gather that rebound. But when you watch this zone, look at how far Cooper Flag and Con Knipple are similar to, of course, your alma mater, Syracuse, with Jim Boeheim's zone, where it's not a 2-3. It's really you show your length. We talked about Duke being the tallest team in the country. They absolutely have great length on the wings, and showing it, making it look as though very little is open against the zone.
The Pack can tie it up here. Taylor. Hill jumps into the paint. He can't connect. And saving it, Proctor on the baseline, and he'll draw the foul. As NC State tried to bat it away and commits a personal with 3:01 to go. And that personal goes against Marcus Hill, number 2 on Hill.
Tyrese Proctor doing his great bouncing act. But how about Con Knipple pulling his leg to keep him in bounds? I tell you what, there are high basketball IQs plays, and then there's next level. That was next level by Con Knipple as he smiles about it. But that was an extremely smart play.
It's a little help from your friends, man.
That would be almost a tush push in football, right? Now, wouldn't that be similar to something like that, making sure you get across the line?
I heard that about 62 times yesterday. I didn't expect it from you. But you're right. No, 1 of 2 there for Proctor. It was NC State's 10th team foul, by the way. 3:01 to go. And a 4-point lead. Remember, NC State has lost their hot hand to fouls. Dontrez Styles fouled out several minutes ago, so if they're going to do it, they're going to do it without him. And tipped out by Duke.
And Kevin Keats now trying to get his best shooting lineup on the floor. So taking Marcus Hill out, who's not much of a threat from beyond the three-point arc, getting Bryce Hurd in the mix, as well as keeping the hot hand of Trey Parker on the floor.
Hurd, the second youngest player in the conference behind Cooper Flagg.
And those two guys were teammates a couple seasons ago in Mount Vernon.
Jumper off target. Taylor couldn't hit that time. Flagg got it knocked away and then recouped. Flagg making a move to his left. Spins left, and it goes. It's one creative shot.
Well, the impressive part was keeping his pivot foot down. Of course, officials are looking to make that call. Anything that looks awkward, they're going to call it. Does a great job keeping his pivot foot on the floor.
Cooper Flagg with 27. The Pack needs an answer under 2 minutes to go. Entry pass up and in.
Great execution, getting the ball to the short corner. Then Brandon Huntley-Hatfield carving out some space in the middle of the lane. Cooper Flagg keeping that left foot down. Does not pick it up before he leaves to shoot the basketball. It's all legit. With the left hand, he's able to finish over a smaller defender. 25 for Cooper. Forgive me, 27 now for Cooper on the night as he continues to stack up numbers in the biggest games for the Blue Devils.
27 points. So game after game, the story being written about Cooper Flagg is he's finding a way to lead Duke to victories. Very different ways oftentimes, but putting up a lot of points. Then on his way to maybe a 30-point game, we shall see. And 6 college basketball games will highlight our ESPN schedule on Saturday. 2 of them are Sonic blockbusters. Cooper Flagg and number 2 Duke hosting North Carolina at 6:30, and then Coach Cal returning to Rupp Arena, leading Arkansas against number 12 Kentucky. That's 13 hours of college basketball, all starting with the College Game Day crew at 10 a.m. to get you ready for the day. I don't know if it tops last Saturday with all those overtime games, which I think was a record, or tied a record. It was an incredible Saturday of basketball.
Well, and that's this time of year. That's what you're going to get. The ACC, the SEC, you're going to have so many different great matchups. The Big 12, of course, will be involved. But this time of year, it's about college basketball and getting the best out of each and every one of these teams as they start to make their race towards March.
Look at our reset now. Neither side with a foul to give. And Duke has the timeouts remaining. NC State has none left with 1:55.
And right now, of course, each and every possession becomes extremely critical. For the Blue Devils, it's going to be about handling the basketball. You know the Wolfpack are going to come at them 94 feet, full court pressure, seeing if they can get a turnover first. But the Wolfpack have been stout defensively in the half court, but having to do it without Dontrez Styles, who is their best defender on Cooper Flagg.
James can run on that baseline, looking for help. In for Flagg.
Ben Middlebrooks can't pressure Cooper Flagg 94 feet the way that Dontrez Styles did. And Kevin Keats knows they're going to put the basketball in the hands of Flagg, especially late in game, to allow him to be the facilitator.
Duke is getting everybody's best shot in the conference, aren't they?
Yeah, they absolutely are. And NC State came in with maybe one of their better performances of the season on the road tonight.
Flagg drives it, shot clock winding down, got the pass off, and up and in by Gungpa. I thought he was going to shoot it.
That's 2 freshmen, OB. And not only did everyone think he was going to shoot it, Pat Gungpa did not. He knew, and more importantly, never took the basketball down. Shot it as soon as it hit his hands, soft finish from Gungpa.
And a big make, big assist as well from Flagg. Parker, O'Connell. And they're going to throw that one away. It's going to be tipped.
OB pick and roll action. And you see Cooper Flagg rejecting it, but going up, dropping it off. But how about the smart play by Gungpa? He never brings it down. He just finishes right in his shooting pocket as Dontrez Styles, who's had a great evening, can only watch.
Duke to check it in for Knipple. Up ahead, Proctor. 52 seconds left.
And Proctor will hold it. He's the guy you want at the free throw line for the Blue Devils. So he'll just hold on to the basketball, won't risk giving it up. It's either he or Knipple you want to send to the line at this stage.
Duke has been tremendous at the line. They've made 20 of 22, 91%.
Cooper Flagg has made 10 of those 20 for the Blue Devils as he continues to just pour it on in second halves of games. His aggressiveness goes up to a different level.
Talking about a different level, right?
Kevin Keats, that may be out of the coaching box. I'm not sure. However, trying to get, as he had Coach Snell all up, trying to get Mike O'Connell to foul Tyrese Proctor. And a successful foul. Proctor only makes 1 of 2. Still a 3-possession game.
71-64. Parker.
The zone costing NC State valuable seconds on the offensive end.
Parker has to launch a long one. Can't hit it off the back iron, and it's Flagg with a rebound. And they will reach and foul with 29.2 to go. This was some fight tonight.
It absolutely has been. Give the Wolfpack a tremendous amount of credit. And I know Kevin Keats is not looking for moral victories, but this is something to build on. When you come into this building and play this well, this is the type of effort you should be able to carry over into later. And that's something I'm sure Coach Keats will talk to his team about. And for Jon Scheyer, this is simply about building. They're going to have to win these games, and they're not going to be blowouts.
This is 2 shots.
But for the second consecutive game, the Blue Devils have had to come out of a halftime deficit and be able to come out and win in the second half of games, and they've been able to do so behind their spectacular freshman in Cooper Flagg.
You know, Boston College gave him a very tough half at Chestnut Hill. Wake Forest gave him a very tough game on Saturday. A close one, and NC State came out firing tonight. Parker off to O'Connell. In the corner, Hurd will now drive and scoop it around, and out it goes. Knipple will draw the foul. 13 seconds left.
How about Patrick Gumba going over each and every one of his coaches, dapping him up. They love the effort from the freshman big man. As Jon Scheyer and his entire staff excited, they knew once Malik Brown was injured, they were going to need Patrick Gumba to step in. He absolutely did so with Kama Malawatch leaving the floor with 4:21 remaining. Gumba stepped up and made big plays for this team on both ends of the floor.
Played 21 minutes on Saturday, too. Tell you what, we have had a full menu of stuff in this one, haven't we?
We absolutely have.
Parker will fall away, and it will not drop. And the final seconds tick away. Another hard-fought victory for the Duke Blue Devils, who have now won 14 consecutive games and are 10-0 in the ACC.
And set up a huge matchup for them this weekend as the rival North Carolina Tar Heels come into this building to take on the #2 team in the country.
Iowa State, Arizona coming up next. For Myron Metcalf and my partner Corey Alexander, who is delighted to be back from Paris, and our entire crew, I'm Dave O'Brien. Thanks so much for joining us tonight here at Cameron Indoor. Now to Boog Shambi and Fran Fraschilla in Tucson. Take it away, guys.